And finally on the program, the task of job creation does not seem to be left for the government alone, as some individuals are brainstorming on stemming the tide of unemployment in the country and on the continent. Well, during a panel discussion at the Karama Conference Series in Lagos, technocrats say for Africa to be developed, human capacity development is imperative.
While the federal and state government are working on creating jobs, some individuals are also brainstorming on how to. Inside of this building are some persons drawn from different parts of the globe who are brainstorming on improving human capacity and creating jobs on the continent of Africa. Critical among their discussions is getting the kind of education that would support the jobs.
We have to be able to bring creativity into the classroom. We have to be able to teach some of these skills, even though my colleague there mentioned you can get it from the workplace, but there are ways you can incorporate it into the school curriculum that can be taught in the classroom. I've understudied African Leadership Academy in South Africa, at Ashesi University in Ghana, and that is being taught in the classroom. You are taken to the world where you can explore, you're allowed to fail. It is not a sin to get something wrong. In Nigeria, you fail and it's like you're dead. Although when they introduced me, they said I finished with the first class, but it was because I just couldn't afford to fail. It was no, in my house, you couldn't hear anyone my father would ring it in your head. I didn't pay for my school fees, all my school, I was on scholarship. You cannot come back home telling me you have failed. But the truth is, as an entrepreneur now, failure has been my best teacher. You know, I have learned a lot from the fact that I take the product to the market, it fails, I bring it back, work back on it, make it better, take it back, it fails, fails again and again and again, and then I get it right, then I start making money and people think, oh, she has made it, she hit it.
Some lessons are better learned on the job.
How do you deal with someone that just doesn't want to be managed or needs to be micromanaged? Things like that I have found out are easier learned in a work environment. And for the young people, if we're able to expose them to these situations at an early age, then they're able to adopt those skills into their lifestyle, into their way of thinking. It incorporates into everything and then invariably affects the output when they eventually enter the workforce.
No matter the contribution of the private sector, some roles are better played by government.
The whole talk around improving business, doing business in Nigeria, and all the investment climate, the business environment. So really that's where you find there's going to be a lot of government support in it. Of course, as well in terms of job creation, there's also the direct investment of government, like I've spoken around the 500,000 teachers already, and then you also have that with the non-graduates too. So there's a lot of empowerment programs for the artisans, the trade skills women, market women, artisans, and things like that category. So there's a lot of direct government spending there.
Government is working on moving some of the over 2 million micro businesses to small enterprises.
One of the first essential interventions we must quickly do, and we are in discussions with Smidan on that, is to really know where these people are. In knowing where they are, formulate them into cooperatives and clusters. And when you know them that way, you can then actually better prescribe solutions to their challenges. Now, because it's a good case study for us to understand why are the micros not transiting to becoming small, and and again, why are the micros in specific trade disciplines or in specific sectors? What challenges do they have? And the next thing that we're hoping we can also do quickly is to work with another agency of government, which is the National Directorate of Employment under the Ministry of Labor and Employment Generation, because the NDE, they typically have footprints across Nigeria, to see how we can upscale some of their infrastructures to actually becoming what we call local empowerment centers.
If the resolutions from this conference is not put in the archive, but put to use, unemployment may soon be history in Lagos, Nigeria. and on the continent.
And from that report, we call it a wrap on this edition. Thank you for being part of it. And remember to be security and health conscious. Report any suspicious activity or movement to law enforcement agents. We'll be glad to catch your views on our social media platforms showing on your screen. I'm Loretta Chiogo. Take care now.